Okay, so I think we can start. Not to keep everyone waiting, so we can get started now. Good evening again, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Q&A session with two of the social media marketing program by BOSSA. I'll get started pretty much soon. Hi, units. Good evening. I can see your hands up.
Hi, Shadwa, good evening. So sorry, I was trying to know why the team leads are not online. So one of them is saying that I think Abdul, he's saying he's online, but his network is bad. But I think another team lead is on the call. Dorcas, can you hear me?
Good evening,
Why?
ma'am. Yes, I'm
Good
here, ma'am.
evening. So please attend to your instructor. So Shadwa, you can ask her what you were asking before. Thank you.
Sorry, ma'am. My phone is shutting down like right now. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Oh, dear.
Can you hear me, Dorcas?
Yes, sir. My phone is shutting down right now, sir.
But you're still able to speak. I heard you guys have a defense this week.
Hi.
Is that correct? Okay. The other members of on the call, how many of you have joined a group or you are grouped into any assessment groups? You are here on the call. You joined a group for your assessments for this week. Can you raise your hand? I can see two hands raised. Sorry, Eunice, do you have something you want to say?
Sorry, I didn't recall my hand is still up. Sorry.
Susan is a member of group 1. Can you keep your hands up until I say you should take your hand down? Those of you raising your hands. Just use the raise hand feature to raise your hand if you know you're part of any group for this week's assessment. I can see only Chaben and Assam. Anybody that is in what, use the raise hand feature to raise your hand if you know you are in a group. I can only see 2 people. The rest of you didn't join the group, you're not aware that you had to join any group. Let's start with Mubaraka. Mubarak, are you there?
What do you say, sir? I can't hear what you said.
What group are you in for this week's assessment?
Group one.
Can you raise your hand, please? I said if you are in a group, raise your hand. I need to know.
I'm sorry, my network was breaking. I'm very sorry, sir.
Sylvia, are you in any group? If you said something I didn't get you. Susan, what group are you in?
I'm in group 1.
Okay. If you are in group 1, keep your hands raised. If you are not in group 1, you can take down your hands. So everyone on this call is in group 1. Fantastic. So who is going to present your defense for group 1? Who was group 1's team lead? Are you guys on this call at all? Are you guys having network issues? I want to understand what the problem is. I'm not getting responses. And why is I want to understand why that is the case. Chabian, Kasam, Rafatu, unmute your mic and speak. I don't want you to use the chat box. You're having your defense today, so you're not going to defend using the chat box. You're going to defend by muting your mic. Who is representing group 1 for this week's defense?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I believe our group leader has a problem with her phone, so I will be representing on her behalf. I'll be representing her. So on this week, we were talking about the strategies, the engagement strategies, how we are going to engage the audience to our social media platforms. And one of the, I think I'm just going to outline what we discussed and how it is going to help. One of the engagement strategies we talked about was actually answering the comments and the DMs. And we said that when you answer the comments and the DMs, we let them know that we are appreciating their feedback. So we should answer the comments and the DM immediately or maybe within 24 hours so that they do not feel ignored. And we also talked about just looking at the feedback. Is it negative feedback? Is it positive feedback? How can we change? And if somebody has a negative feedback, how are we going to take that feedback and use it constructively? What are we going to change from it? And part of it is maybe also looking at the comment and going to that person's DM and asking them, hey, where was the problem? Then we also talked about when there is on the comment section, engaging them. And if there is good feedback, we can even use that feedback to make another content to make them feel appreciated. Then another strategy was having live sessions. So one of the live sessions we can have are like the behind the scenes. If it is a brand that works with the product or services, we can let them know how to use those services, how the products are made, how the services can be availed to people. Then we can also have live session where we can take questions and answer, like what you are doing, sir. You are here and you are taking our presentations and we ask questions and you give us answer. This is one good example of a question and answer session. Then we can also have a live session where we just show people behind. I talked about behind the scenes, sorry. We can have a feedback session where we just get reviews from the clients. Hey, this is the product that we were marketing. How did you see the product? And when we take those reviews from the live sessions, we can again post them in the pages. Then another thing is also having interviews. These channels, there are some channels in social medias that use interviews for podcasts maybe. So when we have such interviews where people can just come and share their experiences openly without just blocking their how they can express themselves, it can really help. Those are some of the engagement strategies. And also another engagement strategies was making sure that you are posting from time to time. We have a calendar where we can say, like, today we're going to post a video, tomorrow we are going to post just a lines. The other day we can post the casseroles. The other day we can post maybe behind the scene. Yes. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that presentation. So I have a question, and I want someone else from the only group one that is here. So someone else on the call to respond to this. You mentioned something about negative comments and then reaching out to the person to know what the issue is. What happens to the negative comment itself that is on your brand's post? How is that handled? No, not you. Someone else on the call. I believe this was a group assessment, so, you know, anybody should be able to respond, not the person that presented. Chabian, Baraka. Okay, Chabian, go ahead.
Okay, so about the negative reviews that are left, about the negative comments, we will take some of them and review them because I mean the negative comments are coming from customers, right? From potential clients. So we will take them and assess them and review them. So it's part of what we take as feedback.
Okay, so do you leave the comments in the post? How do you respond to the comment? Because I think from presentation, you said you reach out to the person. I believe that will be via DM. The question is that particular comment that other people that come to your page, or other people that will see that post will get to see. What are the steps? How are you going to handle that particular comment, aside taking the feedback from the customer or the client?
Okay, so first of all, we are going to acknowledge the customers or the commenters' grievance. We are going to acknowledge what issue it is the negative comment or whatever it is they are having an issue with, and would apologize and reach out to them in their DM to see if we can get more feedback from them directly. But the comments on our pages we are still going to acknowledge it because that is their own personal, that's how they see the brand or the business. So we'd still acknowledge their grievances. So probably say something like, hi, we are sorry that this happened, or we are sorry that this product turned out this way, but we could reach out to you via your DM or email or something like that, sir. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Kasam, you have something to add or something contrary to say?
Yes, I have something to add. When you look at that feedback and it is negative, then we do not have to be defensive. We don't have to argue with them. And also, this is just my opinion. Instead of saying sorry, we can thank them. We can be like, thank you so much for this response. And now, after thanking them and telling them that we are going to deal with it, then when we get to the DMs, and now after we have already talked to them about it, like, hey, where was the problem? And they tell us this is the problem, and maybe we solve it. After solving it, we can convince them to go back to the post where they had commented and change that comment. Because of course, if we delete it on our end, they will feel just invalidated. So when after dealing with them, we can then convince them to go back to the page and change their comment.
Great. Great. Fantastic response. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bupon, for that presentation on your engagement strategies. I can see Oluwaseun on the call. Oluwaseun, are you also in group one? Oluwaseun, can you hear me? Okay, I guess she's having network issues. So we can move forward. How this class is going to run, I'm going to give everyone on the call time to ask questions that they have, since we don't have two members on the call yet. So if you have any questions from this week's module that you'd like to ask, please raise your hand and ask your questions. No questions from anybody? Okay, Assam, go ahead.
When we were learning about the calendar, then there was that place where you can post videos and you can post reels, and sometimes maybe you don't have time to record reels, so you can take them maybe from other platforms like Pinterest or maybe YouTube. But then when you take them from Pinterest, sometimes you cannot track the owner. Then when you post and you cannot give credit to the owner, it can be taken down. How do we deal with such? How can we give credit to the owner when we can't trace the owner of that?
Okay, so whenever you are using visuals for any platform, social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, it's always advisable that you use stock visuals or commercial visuals. So from images to videos, it's important that I use. And there are different channels where you can get stock visuals, stock videos, stock pictures to create a real content that you can use without having to worry about copyright infringement and all of that. Because at the end of the day, you just mentioned that you're not able to track these people, maybe getting a content from Pinterest. You're not able to track these people on Instagram or maybe on Facebook to give them credit. It's usually advisable or more advisable that you get content or you create content using stock videos and images from the different platforms that provide these visuals that you can use, right? So that's the best advice I'll give you when it comes to creating content for social media. Any other questions from anybody?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, so I do have a couple of questions. And I know from last week's session, I had mentioned that I'll be reviewing Oluwaseun's assignments for last week on the call. So I'm going to ask my questions, and after that, I'll go on to review the assignments that she submitted last week. So I'm going to be calling at random to answer the questions I have regarding content planning, engagement strategy. You guys worked on a presentation, so I would like to see how you guys get to respond to these questions. So the first question I want to ask, and I know I touched on it last week. Let me ask again. Let's see those that took notes from our last week Q&A session. What is a content pillar and why is it important when it comes to social media strategy? Anyone want to try, or you'd prefer I call on you to speak? Okay, Sylvia. Sylvia, are you there? All right. Rafatu, can you hear me? Are you with us on this call?
Yes, please, I'm on call.
Okay. So, did you get the question?
Yeah, last week I was not able to join the section because I was having network issue.
Okay. Did you complete your module for this week and last week?
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. So if you did, you should be able to respond to my question. So what is the content pillar and why is it important when it comes to social media strategy?
Okay. A content pillar is a core topic that serves as a foundation for the brand content strategy. So it's important relating to writing blog, like social media, like the platforms, because
Okay.
it
Now,
convey your message to your audience. It help you to truly convey your message to the audience.
okay. Chabian, do you agree with what she said? Chabian, are you on the
Yeah,
call?
yes, I am, sir.
So do you agree with what she said?
Partially, yes.
Partially. What's your own opinion
I
on what
feel
the
like
content pillar?
it's more than that.
Okay. So give us your own definition.
I do not have a better definition than what she said, but I do know that a content pillar is supposed to be it's like it should entail everything that your brand stands for or your brand is all about. I mean, in simple terms. From the content to the strategizing, the planning and the execution, feedback, everything. It's all interconnected.
Okay. Before I give a response to what you've said and what Rafat also said. Assam, do you have a contrary definition to what they've both said?
No, sir. I agree with them. I also have to add this, that when you have a content pillar for your page, that means you have the core message. It really helps in driving you to the right audience. Now, let me give an example. If, let's say, I have an Instagram page, and on that Instagram page, I am posting mental health, I am posting also politics, I am posting market, I am posting business, I'm posting a lot of things in that page, then I will not have the right audience for that page because the algorithm is not going to be matching or aligning with my audience. But maybe if I use that page for health and mental health only, I will be able to get the audience that really want that message from that page. Because if I use hashtags, that means all the hashtags on my page will be aligning and people will be driving to my page knowing exactly what they want. Thank you, sir.
All right. So I think to a large extent, you guys are there in terms of the responses you gave, given that a content pillar is just like your a core topic or theme, right? So there are a few things that you guys highlighted, which stood out. One, core topic. Two, it has to support the brand's message. And then three, it guides content creation. That is essentially what a content pillar is. If your content pillar does not support your brand message or what your brand is all about, it's essentially not the content pillar you should be using for your brand, right? Why it is important in social media strategy is that it ensures consistency, helps organize ideas, and maintains relevance across all social media platforms, right? Give me a few seconds. I will be back shortly. Okay, sorry guys, I have to respond to something. So yeah, let's get back to our Q&A session. So the next question I have is, now we've understood what the content pillar is. What's the difference between a content calendar and a content plan?
Pardon, sir?
I said, what is the difference between a content calendar and a content plan? Susan, are you still on the call with us?
Sir, are we to respond randomly? Can I?
Yes, I am.
Can I talk?
If you want to respond, you just raise your hand. I want to know those who are on the call. I've been speaking to just 2 or 3 people almost since this call started. So I have Chavian. Okay, I've heard Chavian. Let's Mubaraka can go ahead to respond.
A content plan explain what type of content you want to create and why and the goal also, and like why you want to create the content and how that content fits your goal. That's content plan. And why content calendar, it shows the schedule of your content. Like it shows when and where each post will be posted. When and where you post that post. That content calendar shows how you are going to carry out the post. posting when we and all that.
Okay, I didn't quite get what you said. What is a content plan? I didn't quite get that part.
I said content plan. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. I said content plan explain the type of content you want to create and how that content, like how the type of how that content fits your goal. That's content plan.
Okay. Abdul Wadud, I can see your hands up. Do you want to add to what she said?
Yes, sir. Content plan really means what you plan to post online, like what will attract your customers. And content calendar is basically a plan, like maybe you are scheduling your plans in posting content online. Like maybe you wanted to be posting 3 content in a day, then you schedule it. The first one will be on education, and the second one will be on entertainment, and the third one will be like maybe on lifestyle. So that's what content calendar entails. So
Okay, I can see a lot of hands up. I can see a lot of hands up, which is a good thing, but I think to a large extent, Abdul Wadud and Mubaraka has responded. Now, for those of us that still have our hands up, I have a question that I would like one of you to respond to. What tools do you use in creating and publishing social media content? What tools can you use in creating and publishing social media content?
Okay, you can use Notion. You can also use your spreadsheet to create your content calendar.
Hold on. So if you list a tool, you will say what you're using that tool for. Remember, I said in the planning and publishing of social media content, what tools do you use or what tools can you use? 5 of them. If you list one, you mention what you're using that tool for. So you can start again.
Please come again.
Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Oluwaseun,
Sir,
yes, your hand is up. You want to respond to my question?
yes.
Please go ahead.
So for the tools, we can use Canva. Canva is used for designing. Then also we can use CapCut for editing our videos before posting. So we can also use TikTok. And there's a particular effect that got my attention because I've been using CapCut, and this thing is what I've been struggling with. The way we used to do maybe voice, because I used to wonder some videos that I see online, the way they are fluent with the speaking. I'm like, are these people this fluent? You know. So until I got to know that there is something we call is it teleprompter or something? Yes, I got to learn about that also. Then there's another one which is ChatGPT. That's a number one go-to for of all of them all. So that one can help us to create content, like different kinds of content that we want to create.
Then we have Hootsuite, I've not tried all other ones out, but we were told it's used to schedule content, but I've not tried any of it out. So I don't really know how those ones work.
Okay. So categorize these tools into tools that fall into content planning tools and content scheduling or publishing tools.
Yeah.
I said you should categorize the tools into
Content planning.
content planning tools and content publishing tools.
Okay, for content planning, I'll say um okay, content planning, I would say ChatGPT, um okay, ChatGPT or Gemini, Suite for content planning, then the rest for content publishing, like Canva, CapCut, TikTok for publishing. Because publishing sounds like more like an output of what you've already planned. So that's how best I can answer. I'm done speaking, sir.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Can you guys hear me now? Rafatu, you have a contrary view or opinion, or you want to add to what she said?
Yeah, for me, for my point of view, I think Canva and Chat is for planning. Then Meta Business Suite and then Hootsuite is for content scheduling.
Okay. Asa?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On the Canva, I've been using Canva to create posters, to create content, and I think it can be both. It can be used in planning if you make the tables, and it can also be used for content creation also.
Okay. So okay, you guys have made good points. Just give me a second. I'm sorry, guys, I'm having to interrupt your calls. A lot. Okay, so like I said, you guys have made good points. You guys have made good points in terms of content planning, creation and scheduling. So Canva, yes, can be used if you want to design a content calendar per se, or you want to create content, graphics, and videos as well, right? So you can use that. Meta Business Suite, obviously, for scheduling your content. The traditional social media platforms also have scheduling options. X has scheduling options. LinkedIn has scheduling option and all, right? So all of those tools can be utilized. Now we are in the era of AI, and I think as part of the tools that was mentioned, ChatGPT. What other AI tools have you come across when it comes to social media content creation? And how do you think you can leverage AI to create better social media content? Yes, Rafatu.
Yeah, I've also come across Perplexity, Gemini, and there's one is Dell. I didn't really get the name, but so far I know Perplexity and Gemini.
So how can you leverage these tools for social media content creation?
Yeah, most of them, especially Perplexity, you can upload a visual on it and it will produce a content for you. So you give it a prompt to produce your content for you. Then you sit and then work around it, and then you can use it.
Okay. What about Gemini?
Gemini, it also does the same thing.
Okay, Kasam, want to try? Thank you, Rafat.
Yes, sir. Sir, mine is a question.
Okay,
I do not have a good relationship with AI. Let me start with that. I recently started using ChatGPT. Okay, I have this thing in my mind that tells me if I start using AI, my creativity will be reduced. It is valid on its own, yeah, but I feel like I should also start embracing the growth in technology. So, how do we use AI without losing the creativity that we have in our mind? Because the more we use it, the more the creativity starts just lowering.
Okay, so that is a very, very valid question that you asked regarding AI. I'll quickly respond. I think we have about 10 minutes, so I can get to review the assignment. So yes, a lot of people, social media managers in particular, tend to lose their touch of creativity because of over-reliance on AI tools like ChatGPT, especially. So I say that especially because some other AI tools sometimes need you to be a director, right? So needs you to think and feed them, right? For ChatGPT, you can go to ChatGPT and say, I want you to create a 30-day social media content calendar on this brand, and ChatGPT will go on to develop that, obviously. So one of the things that I get to say, or I say often to social media managers and the use of AI is, do not depend on AI completely. AI is only an enabler. AI only helps to make the work load reduce, because in this day and age, there is an increasing need or demand for more content to be developed. Now, how do you maintain your creativity, or how do you keep your creativity while using tools like ChatGPT? The first thing you need to consider is you're a social media manager, you have your own thoughts, you have your own ideas, right? Most times you may struggle with execution or how to put these ideas into, let's say, a content plan or a social media plan. But essentially, they are your ideas. And don't forget that AI is garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you feed AI is what AI is going to give you back. And I'll give you an instance. I had a scenario where I requested for 2 video scripts from social media managers for a brand, selling the brand, what the brand is all about. Now, one of those scripts had a story, had an African story to tell. But, the African story drove down the message of what the brand is all about. On the other hand, the script that was created by the second person was just a generic script where you go, a script where you read, something like BOSSA Academy. It's an online academy where you get to learn digital courses and all of it. It's generic. Both scripts, mind you, both scripts were written with AI, basically. But there was more thought and creativity into the script that came with the African touch and story, and then drove home the brand's message. This tells you that AI is not the problem, but the human factor, or how the human uses AI, would determine what the output would be or how creative it would be. AI can make your creativity even better and stand out if you use the right prompts and you have a good idea, of what you want to come, or the output of what you're looking out for, right? So what you need to understand is, like I said, AI is an enabler and not there to do the work for you. So if you have a social media content calendar you want to create for a brand, you already have an idea of what the brand is all about. You can go on to ask AI to say, okay, for this kind of brand, what content pillars would you propose or suggest? And ask AI to give you like 10 content pillars, explaining each content pillar and how they tie into the brand's message. Now, it's your duty or your job as a social media manager that is going to create those contents and then post those contents to now sit back and look at what AI has given you and decide if this is what you want or this is the idea that you have in mind. But you must have an idea of what you're looking for before you go to AI to ask AI for anything, because you are basically in control of whatever AI is going to give you. It's not the other way around. AI doesn't control what it gives you. You need to help AI to be able to help you to better your productivity, to better your creativity. Like I said, I just gave a scenario of 2 scripts that were written basically with AI, and one of them told the African story and the brand story better than the other script. Why? Because this other person gave deep thought into what they wanted to tell with their video script and how that would engage the audience who are going to listen to it or who are going to watch it. So these are the things that you need to have at the back of your mind whenever you want to use AI tools like ChatGPT or even AI tools like, there are other AI tools, there are AI tools that people use for voiceovers. So you need to be creative. You need to be like I mentioned, some of these AI tools need you to be like a director for the voiceovers, where you get to say, okay, this is the tone that you want. This is how you want the person to speak. You want the person to say it in a storytelling manner. You want the person to say it like, you basically need to be a director. So you need to have all of those in you in terms of what you're expecting, what is the output that you're expecting before you feed it to AI. So Kasam, did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Great. Oluwaseun, I can still see your hand up. Do you have a question before I go on to review your assignments?
Oh no, I was raising to answer the question that you asked about other AIs that we've come across. I came across Qbots, and it's just something that Grammarly does, but I think in a better way than Grammarly. It's connected to my keyboard, so as you type what you think, what you want to type, you can just, make it better, make it sounds better, make it appear better, correct the put the grammar in order before sending it as a message. So that is it.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, Qbot can help you to rewrite sentences, help you to write paragraphs. Also dependent on what you want. You want fluency, you want professional, you want normal. It has different options. It's very good tool as well, especially when it comes to, especially for people that write long form content. Qbot is a very, very important and essential tool. So let me go on to share my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Okay. Yeah, so I believe this was the assignment from last week. And the question was to choose a brand, analyze the social media presence, identify the platforms used, content types, and engagement strategies. Oluwaseun went for Coca-Cola, popular brand, platform use, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Content type, user-generated content, campaigns from customers sharing their experience, sponsoring social events like football, visual images with the product. Okay, so for better understanding Oluwaseun, I need you to throw more light on what you are trying to say for the first and second content types that you mentioned.
Sorry, sir. I don't know if there's a way you can help mute or unmute me from your end.
I can hear you. Has she dropped off? Okay, so we're almost past time. So let me just highlight. So user-generated content here is a good content type. I guess what she's trying to say is they use it as a form of campaign where customers get to share their experience, which is a very good content type because it creates a human touch and it builds trust with potential target audience. And sponsoring social events like football, it's not necessarily a content type. I had mentioned previously actually, content types are formats. Content types and formats. So user-generated content is not necessarily a content type. Sponsoring social media events like football is not also necessarily a content type or format. I mentioned in our call last week that people get to confuse content types and formats with content pillars, right? So a video is a content type or a content format or a kind of content. I want to break it down as much as possible because people will say it's kinds of content, type of content format is the same thing. And they are basically videos, still graphics, written content, that is text content, carousels. These are our content types or content formats, right? So things like user-generated content is a content pillar, falls into a content pillar because user-generated content can be a review. Yes, Kasa, we can drop off. I'm rounding off. So user-generated content can be a review. It can also be a content pillar that you're saying, for instance, share a Coke challenge where you're telling people to make a video about them sharing a Coke with a colleague or a friend. That is a user-generated content. So it's a content pillar, not a content type or format. Visual images with product, yeah. So images, yes, is a content type of format, right? But when you put it this way, it sounds more like a content pillar, right? So I know I mentioned that these are some of the things that people you can easily confuse. I mean, I almost got confused myself. So you can easily confuse yourself that what a content type of format is and what a content pillar is and how you can use it for social media, right? Then engagement strategies, hashtag share a Coke challenge. So engagement strategies, use of hashtags, contents and giveaways, yes. So lucky winner code on Coke caps, that should fall under contents and giveaways. Responding to comments is also an engagement strategy, right? So I wish Oluwaseun was here on the call, but notwithstanding the rest of you on the call, these are some of the things that you need to take note of, right? So the kind of content that Coca-Cola puts up on their social media page can be videos, reels, carousel content, still graphics or designs and all that. They are not content pillars, right? So just for everyone to take note of, right? So yeah, thank you. I know this has gone deep into the night as I would have loved to. Thank you for joining tonight's Q&A session. We've come to the end of this Q&A session. Don't forget, you can always submit your assignments and get it reviewed, to give deep feedback, just like I did today on this call. Whenever you're submitting your assignments for each week, right? This also helps with your education as well, for this particular program. So thank you very much and see you next week, earlier than 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Bye, everyone.